Good evening and welcome to Mena High School, the semifinals of the 4A7 district tournament game between the 3-seed Bauxite Miners and the 2-seed Arkadelphia Badgers. Good evening, everybody. This is Chris Babb. Glad you're joining this evening. A little bit of a late start, as happens in tournament play sometimes. Games will go long before yours and delay your start, but we're glad you're with us nevertheless, and we're about a couple of minutes away from tip-off. In the first game today, the first semifinal, it was a girls' semifinal, and the Nashville Scrapperettes outlasted the Bauxite Lady Miners 39-36, I believe, in overtime. An exciting game to start things out, and the Badgers and Miners are about ready to go. Arkadelphia comes into their game with a record of 10-8, 8-4 in 4A7 conference play, and they were the 2-seed from the 4A7. Bauxite comes into the game with a record of 15-12, overall 7-5 in conference play. They are the 3-seed, and they made their way to the semifinals thanks to a big win over the DeQueen Leopards on Tuesday night in the quarterfinals. This is the third meeting between these two teams, as they split the two games. Arkadelphia won at home. Bauxite got the win at Bauxite, and so the teams are 1-1, and they will meet on the neutral floor today to advance to Saturday's championship game. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket for this tournament. On the boys' side, you see the Thursday games. This is the first semifinal of the game. Of the day, the Badgers and Miners tipping off here in just a couple of minutes. Later tonight, the Mena Bearcats, the 1-seed and host team for this year's tournament, will face the Nashville Scrappers. That will start later than 8:30 tonight, unless one of these next two games gets us back on schedule. The winner advances to Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. championship game, and a chance for a conference championship and the 1-seed in next week's 4A South region. The loser will play in the consolation game Saturday afternoon here at Mena High School at 4:30. All four of these teams have already qualified for next week's 4A South region tournament, which will also be here at Mena High School. They are playing for seeding 1 through 4. The 4A7 matches up with the 4A8 conference, which right now it looks like the 1-seed would be Magnolia, the 2-seed would be Camden Fairview, 3 would be Monticello, and 4 would be Star City. Let's take a look at the starting lineups as they're being announced. You see them on your screen right now. The starting lineups first for the Bauxite Miners will go with Max Chenault, a 5'11 junior. He wears number 3. He's the leading scorer for Bauxite. Gary Storm at a guard, a 5'11", 135-pound senior guard, will start as well for the Miners. Keyshawn Scott, a 6'3", 170-pound junior at guard. Elijah Cruz, a 5'10", 148-pound senior, will start at guard. And then in the middle, the big guy, Zach Lesage, a 6'4", 215-pound senior, will get the start in the post for the Bauxite Miners. For the Arkadelphia Badgers, a familiar starting lineup will be senior guard Victor Tatamy, senior Henry Hunley, all 5 seniors actually, Henry Hunley, Victor Tatamy, Javante Brown, Colin Medley, and Undravian Bullock. Arkadelphia, the home team, as they are the higher seed, so you see them in the home white jerseys. Bauxite will be in the black jerseys, and these two teams are playing for a trip to the championship game on Saturday evening against the winner of the Mena Nashville boys game, which will play later tonight. I understand we might have a few who are watching us at parent-teacher conferences, so we hope you are enjoying your evening. Obviously, Arkadelphia out of school. Arkadelphia out of school today and tomorrow for parent-teacher conferences. No school tomorrow, then also no school on Monday in observance of President's Day. The Miners control the tip, and we are underway in this semifinal game from Mena High School, the host of the 4A7 district tournament. This is the first game for the Badgers of the tournament. This is Bauxite's second game. As we mentioned, both of these teams have won. This is the third game of the season between these two teams, and both of them have won one. This is the rubber match, the only one on a neutral floor. Arkadelphia comes out in man-to-man defense. Bauxite, you can see a lot of moving, a lot of back high picks. There's one right there. And Arkadelphia doing a nice job defending so far. And we almost got a 5 count there by Henry Hunley. And now Bauxite's going to pull it back out and run a different set. Cruz goes all the way in, layup and good, counted and a foul. Henry Hunley got caught up on a screen on the backside. It looked like, and he's going to try to come and talk to the official. It looked like the one that Henry was guarding, actually it was someone from the backside. That would have been for Bauxite. Keyshawn Scott might have caught Henry coming across a little bit early. The free throw from Cruz is no good. Rebound by Colin Medley. And the Badgers have the ball for the first time. Almost a minute gone here in that first possession for the Miners. Javonte Brown backs Cruz down. Fade away, no good, but a foul is going to be called on Bauxite. So Javonte Brown will go to the free throw line. This is the same crew that just officiated the first game, and there were 37 fouls called in the Nashville and Bauxite girls game in a game that featured two teams that played a matchup 2-3 zone. So it'll be interesting to see with man-to-man defense how that factors into today's game. Javonte misses his first free throw. He'll try to get the Badgers on the board to start things off. No field goals yet from either team. Elijah Cruz. Excuse me, my fault. Elijah Cruz had the layup to go. His free throw was no good. Javonte Brown misses the free throw. On the other end, Stormont with the miss. Andravian Bullock with the rebound for Arkadelphia. Victor Tatamy penetrates. Pull up from 15. Short off the front of the rim. Rebound to Lesage. Bauxite's going to push it, and there's the offensive threat. The leading scorer for Bauxite is Max Chenault. He skips it off to Stormont. Three-pointer from the corner, no good. Rebound to Bullock. Tatamy quickly up the floor for the Badgers. To Javonte Brown. He'll pull up. Three-pointer, good for Javonte Brown. Javonte, a fadeaway three coming towards the top of the key. Squared up his body in the air, as you so often see from Javonte. Got the shot to go. Good to see him hit one from deep. First field goal of the game for the Badgers. Take a 3-2 lead. Nice help that time by Henry Hunley. Tips the ball out of bounds. And it'll stay with the Miners. Chenault went to the basket that time. Max Chenault, number 3, there on the right side of your screen with the ball. He is the top offensive threat for the Miners. He pulls up from 17, too strong. Rebound, Javonte Brown. From way downtown, short, no good. Rebound. Medley was there, but it was tipped away by Lesage into the hands of Cruz. Nice tip that time by Victor Tatamy. Arkadelphia, coached by head coach Donnie Williams, assisted by John Ware, also Garrett Garner as well. Brandon Kelly is the head coach for Bauxite. Three-pointer on the way from Chenault is off, no good. Another rebound from Andravian Bullock, third of the game. Kelly is assisted by Greg Chenault and Franklin Featherston of the Miners. Medley at the high post, hands off to Tatamy. Nice dish off, but it was tipped away into the hands of Chenault. 3-on-3. Stormont, pull up from the baseline, rolls around and drops through. And the Miners have another 1-point lead, 4-3, almost halfway through the first quarter. Bullock goes baseline on Cruz, kicks out to Henry Hunley for 3, no good. Rebound to Cruz. Chenault quickly the other way. Hanging layup is good for Max Chenault, and it's 6-3, Bauxite. Going to have an equipment timeout. They're going to make Victor Tadamy take off a wristband. We're back to action. So is Victor. And Arkadelphia has the ball. Screen by Brown. Three-pointer short. Rebound to Lesage. Cruz is open on the backside, but Hundley has him checked. 4 out, 1 in man defense from the Miners. Pull it back out, and the foul is going to be called on Andravian Bullock. That's Andravian's first personal foul, second team foul against Arkadelphia. 3:27 remaining in the first quarter. Stormont gets it off to Medley. Medley was trying to double team after the screen, couldn't recover quick enough, and Lesage gets the layup with the assist from Stormont. And Lesage is going to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play with the Miners leading 8-3. Those 3 points coming on a three-pointer from Javante Brown. On the second possession of the game, that's all Arkadelphia has been able to manage, as Brown was at the free throw line on the first possession, but missed 2 of his free throws. Inside pass to Henry Hundley. Nice give and go that time. Javante Brown to Henry Hundley, and it's 9-5. Stormont misses. Rebound to Tadamy. Left side, Medley. Down in the lane to Bullock. He'll pull the three, no good. Rebound to Stormont of the Miners. Long cross-court pass to Max Chenault. That matchup between Javante Brown and Max Chenault is going to be a fun one to watch. Lesage has the matchup advantage, or the size advantage, on his matchup with Colin Medley. Runner in the lane, no good from Chenault. Rebound Hundley. Tadamy quickly up the left side. He's going to go all the way in. Shot is blocked by Cruz into the hands of Taylor. He's called for a travel. And it'll be Arkadelphia's ball, trailing 9-5, 2:01 remaining in the first quarter here in the 4A7 Boys District Tournament semifinals. From Mena High School, the winner advances to Saturday night's championship game. The loser will play in the consolation game Saturday afternoon to set the seeding for next week's 4A South Region tournament. Hundley, another three-pointer, is short, rebounded by Taylor. Chenault quickly on the other end, spots up for three. It's good for Max Chenault, and it's 12-5. My apologies if you're from Bauxite. I've been calling Keyshawn Scott Taylor. So we'll try not to make that mistake again. Three-pointer on the way from Medley, no good. Rebound, Max Chenault. Quickly up to Lesage, backside to Stormont, layup good. Good transition possession that time from the Miners. And I believe, yes, 14-5 is the scoreboard on the gym. Still had 12, but it is 14-5. Tadamy kicks out. Andravian Bullock for three. Good for Andravian Bullock. Give the assist to Victor Tadamy. 14-8. Bauxite showing that they're really going to try to push it. After a make or a miss, Stormont. Lesage might have gotten away with a foul on the rebound. There is no such thing technically as over the back, but if you do jump over somebody's back and gain an advantage, you can be whistled for the foul. Javante Brown from way downtown, good. His second of the game, and it's 14-11. Two good possessions in a row for the Badgers. A three from Bullock and a three from Brown. And just like that, Arkadelphia has cut a 9-point lead to 3. Scott hands off to Cruz. Right side The traveling violation is going to be called on. Never mind, they're going to call a foul on Andravian Bullock. I believe that's Dre's second personal foul. Stormont takes the inbounds pass out to Scott, back to Cruz. Chenault for three, no good. Rebound at the buzzer, no good. The putback by Lesage off the rim, backboard and off the rim, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. Bauxite 14, Arkadelphia 11. As the Badgers were down 14-5. Then got a three-pointer from Andravian Bullock and a three-pointer from Javante Brown to make it 14-11. Looks like London Cotton will check into the game for the Badgers. And we'll go ahead and bring up the bracket one more time. As you look there, the Badgers and the Miners playing this first boys semifinal of the night. The winner will advance to Saturday's championship game, and they'll face the winner of tonight's Mena Bearcat Nashville Scrapper game. The Nashville Scrappers defeated Malvern on Tuesday by 10 points. Bauxite advanced to tonight's semifinal against Arkadelphia with a big win over DeQueen. But that might be the story of the tournament so far. The DeQueen Leopards, who defeated the Hope Bobcats 77-74 in the first round on Monday. And DeQueen, apparently that is the first conference game of any sort they had won in 5 years in that game against Hope. And so congrats to the DeQueen Leopards for getting the win. But Bauxite was just too much for them, and that's why they're here tonight. Victor Tatamy drives to the basket, but the shot was too strong, 2-on-1. Chenault goes up, shot is blocked by Nick Leeper, who's just into the game for Arkadelphia. So starting the second quarter for the Badgers will be Tatamy, Bullock, Brown, Nick Leeper, and London Cotton. There you see Javante Brown guarding Max Chenault. Way out. Going to get a screen from Lesage. London Cotton matches up with Lesage after the break. A little bit more even of a matchup. Nice job by Javante Brown. Now they're going to call a foul on, that was London Cotton. I was looking at it backwards. I thought they were signaling 23, but they were signaling 32. Chenault goes to the free throw line and makes his first. He now has 5. He leads. Now he has 6. He and Javante Brown lead all scorers with 6 points apiece. Miss on the second one, but Lesage gets the long rebound in the middle of the lane. Javante Brown with no fouls out there guarding Max Chenault can play a little bit tighter. Gary Stormont steps around. The three-pointer, no good. Rebound tipped to Tatamy. Vic right side to Bullock. He's going to drive baseline. Almost stepped on the baseline, but did not. Swings it around to Javante Brown. His three-pointer was tipped into the hands of Lesage. Scott is going to be fouled by Nick Leeper as Bauxite junior Keyshawn Scott got behind the Badger defense. Foul on the floor, and it will be Bauxite ball under its own basket. 5 team fouls called against Arkadelphia. Nice backdoor play. Arkadelphia does recover, but Elijah Cruz is able to get the pass back from Stormont on the backside to make it 17-11. Put the score on the wrong side of the scoreboard in the Jim, but we'll get that corrected. Elijah Cruz whistled for the foul for the Miners, his first, second team foul called on Bauxite. And let's see what we're... The officials are going to take some time to let them get the score corrected on the board. And now it will be Arkadelphia's ball. Victor Tatamy will trigger the inbounds pass for the Badgers. To Brown, back to Tatamy. Now another foul. Goodness. That foul was on Gary Storment, Coach Kelly of Bauxite, on one of Max Chenault's previous drives to the basket. You can hear him in the background possibly hollering, get him off of him, and now he's been whistled for two of those fouls on ensuing possessions. Three-pointer from Bullock is too strong into the hands of Max Chenault. Traveling violation is going to be called. He bumped into his own player. The official is going to say he bobbled the ball. And he's going to give the ball back to Bauxite. That's a tough one. Bauxite coach, now that Gary Storment steps on the baseline, he'll give it right back to Arkadelphia. The Bauxite coaches wanted a blocking foul because they thought that was what the contact was that forced him to bobble the ball, but I think the contact was actually from his own player. Nevertheless, the official ruled that he was bobbling the ball and didn't have possession, therefore there couldn't be no travel, but Storment steps on the baseline regardless. It goes back to Arkadelphia. Inside to London Cotton. Dribbles the ball, and it's knocked away, and Elijah Cruz is going to have an uncontested fast break layup after the steal. It's the danger of a post player putting it on the ground on the block. You got the Nats that come from the backside and pick it off. Victor Tatamy with a nice pull-up jumper from 15. 19-13. Chenault at the right side. See if he gets a screen. Well, there's the screen. It's going back door, and Javante Brown reads it, but it's going to go right out to Chenault, and he's going to have a wide-open three-pointer. No good. Rebound controlled by Nick Leeper. The Badgers noticed what was happening just in time. Javante Brown for three off the back of the rim. No good. Rebound to Storment. Quickly ahead, intercepted by Victor Tatamy. To steal a line from Jeff Root. Tatamy, count the basket. Oh, they're going to call an offensive foul on Victor Tatamy. I thought based on the, probably not a bad call, I thought based on the whistle was blown on by the official on the far side, the one under the basket deferred to him, and the foul went on Tatamy. Chenault's left open from 8 feet on the baseline. You can't do that. And the Bauxite lead is now 8. Tatamy, floater in the middle of the lane. Good for Victor Tatamy. He now has 4. It's back to a 2-possession game. Chenault gets a step. Shot is no good. Rebound to Andravian Bullock. Gets it to Tatamy. Tatamy pull up for 3. Not the shot that they wanted, and that's going to be a foul on London Cotton. That's going to be the second foul on London Cotton. And Bauxite's going to go to the free throw line. Miners in the 1-1. Bauxite's been whistled for only 3 fouls. Javante Brown leads the way for Arkadelphia with 6. Victor Tatamy has 4. Max Chenault leads all scorers with 8. A missed free throw from Bauxite. Nick Leeper with the rebound. Nice bullet pass from Tatamy to Bullock. Shot up, no good. Rebound controlled by Colin Medley. Out to Tatamy, in stride for 3. Too strong. Rebound, Bullock, good. And they're going to call a foul on Bauxite on the putback, and Andravian Bullock is going to the free throw line for the old-fashioned three-point play. That foul is called on Elijah Cruz of Bauxite. That's his second personal foul. 4th team foul. Bullock to the free throw line for the Badgers. 21-17 as I got a little bit too eager there on the scoreboard. 4-point lead for the Miners as we come up on 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Leeper gets caught on the screen, and Keyshawn Scott has the uncontested path to the rim and gets the layup to go to put the Bauxite lead back at 6. Tatamy, nice dump off to Medley. Layup good for Colin Medley. Give the assist to Victor Tatamy. Back to a 4-point game. Bauxite using a lot of ball screens, and then every once in a while you'll get the back screen to the guard up high. Nice steal by Victor Tatamy. He's going to go. Is Cruz going to try to stop him? He does. He doesn't. He contested lightly. Tatamy was able to get the free throw to go. It's 23-21 Bauxite. Brandon Kelly, head coach of the Miners, is going to call a timeout as that lead has shrunk to 2 points. As we will reset our clock to 2:18. 2 minutes, 18 seconds remaining in the second quarter, 23-21 in this 4A7 Boys District Tournament semifinal for Mena High School. Winner advances to Saturday's championship game at 7:30 against the winner of the Mena versus Nashville game, which is later tonight. The loser will play in Saturday afternoon's consolation game at 4:30, and the reason there's a consolation game again is because all 4 of these teams, Mena, Nashville, Arkadelphia, and Bauxite, will represent the 4A7 in next week's 4A South Regional. But they have to play out the final 4 teams for seeding purposes. Leeper lets the defender inside him. He's on the outside of him on the block, and Lesage had an easy path to the rim. That foul is called on Colin Medley, his second. So Andravian Bullock has 2 fouls for Arkadelphia. Colin Medley has 2 fouls for Arkadelphia, as does London Cotton. Lesage's first free throw is good, 24-21. Lesage, also a tight end on the Bauxite football team. Good free throw shooter for the Miners. He extends the Miner lead to 4 at 25-21. Tatamy pulls up from 17, short. Almost gets his own rebound, but not quite. Chenault quickly up the left side for Bauxite. Nice hounding job on defense by Victor Tatamy, forcing that turnover. And now they're going to say the ball was knocked out of bounds by a Bauxite Miner as Tatamy was driving to the lane down the left side. Javante Brown, three-pointer, no good. Stolen away almost by Victor Tatamy as he knocked it out of the hands of Ryan Melton, who had the rebound for Bauxite. Tried to save it in bounds, couldn't quite do it. And the Miners have the ball and a lead, a 4-point lead with 1:20 almost remaining in the second quarter. Stormont pull up from 18, good. Badgers got caught again on a cross screen, not even a screen. He passed and just crossed in front of him, and the Badgers got caught up on it defensively, and the lead is back to 6. Javante Brown's there in the corner. Tatamy's going to kick it backside to Bullock, back to Tatamy. Spinner in the middle of the low. No, that's not a good call. That is not a good call. Regardless, it doesn't matter. I think it's good or not. It's the way it goes. So now you just got to come up with a stop to keep Bauxite's lead at 2 possessions. Shot up from Storm at short, no good. Lesage has position and gets the putback to go, and it's an 8-point lead. Man, that was a tough. We actually have 40 seconds to go now as we'll try to catch our clock up now. 36. The lead is 29-21. Medley hands off to Tatamy, back to Medley. He jumper from around the 10-foot mark, no good, and now Bauxite's going to have a chance to make it a double-digit lead right before halftime. They have the momentum, and they would have the ball coming out of the halftime break. Nice dish off from Chenault to Scott, but he missed the layup at the buzzer. And that is your score at halftime. Bauxite 29, Arkadelphia 21 is the halftime score. And we'll be back with some of the halftime statistics here in a couple of minutes as Coach Williams is going to try to get an explanation about that traveling call as he spun in the middle of the lane. You see him, the official giving him a pretty good little, pretty good leash and trying a decent conversation, trying to explain what it was. Obviously, nothing's going to come of it, but Coach Williams still wanting to. And now Coach Ware is trying to say, what is he doing? And now he's still explaining what he saw that nobody who's wearing the blue is still going to agree with. Now, you go back, it looks like some of those times you go back and look at calls like that, and they're good calls. But I'll have to watch this one on YouTube later to be able to tell if he was right or if the Badgers are right. But regardless, it doesn't matter because it's 29-21. Ask the Saints if that really matters. 9 minutes to go in halftime. We'll spread this one out or come wide so you can keep up with halftime. Again, your halftime score, Bauxite 29, Arkadelphia 21. We'll be back with the third quarter after a few minutes.
for the 4A District Tournament, you're listening to Game Time.
Welcome back to Mena High School, the semifinals of the 4A7 Boys District Tournament. This game between the Bauxite Miners and the Arkadelphia Badgers get ready to start the third quarter of play. Bauxite will have the ball and an 8-point lead. Starting on the court for the Miners, Scott, Chenault, Lesage, Cruz, and Stormont. Starting the second half for Arkadelphia, Hunley, Bullock, Tatamy, Brown, and Medley. Bauxite trying to get Arkadelphia, trying to catch them sleeping coming out of the halftime break, trying to line up on the wrong side of the floor and get a cheap basket, but the Badgers didn't fall for it. And we'll start things off. There's the offensive and defensive matchup on this end of the floor. It'll be key in the second half. Had no tip. There's no tip on that. The coaches are trying to get a tip. No tip on that shot. He just missed it. Bullock to Medley. Got to get that one or it's over the back. And he doesn't quite step on the half-court stripe, and it saves the ball for Arkadelphia. Tatamy will run the point for the Badgers. Hunley to Bullock. He bobbles the ball as well. Back to Tatamy. Tatamy pull up from 17. Off, no good. Rebound to Chenault. He'll pull up for three. Good for Max Chenault. And Bauxite strikes first in the third quarter. 32-21, the Miners with an 11-point lead now, their largest lead of the game. Nice dish from Tatamy to Lesage, and a foul is going to be called on Zach Lesage, a late whistle, and that's never going to make people happy. Might have been the right call, might not, but it was just going to come late, so therefore, if you're the team that whistle is blown on, you're not going to be happy. the timing of it. It was after Lesage had already gotten the rebound almost, but Javonte Brown is going to the free throw line. First free throw is good for the senior. 32-22. The official signified that it was not up top with the hand. It was down low with the body. So he indicated that Lesage might have had it clean up top, but it was down low where the contact occurred. Free throw from Brown is no good, and it's back to still a 10-point lead rather for the Miners. Nice flash by Andravian Bullock. To knock that one out of bounds. Storm penetrates, kicks out to Elijah Cruz. Nice job by Henry Hunley of knocking that one away into the hands of Brown, but not a smart pass. It's stolen by Chenault. Out to Stormont. Chenault's back here on the right side to see if they get it to him. They don't. Instead, back now it's to Chenault. He's left open for three. Good. Max Chenault with 14 points, 6 of those in the second half. He had 8 at halftime. He's got 6 in the first 2:15 of the third quarter. And it's a 13-point lead. Bullock out to Brown. Ball knocked away by Scott. Timeout Arkadelphia as Coach Williams wants to talk about things as the Bauxite Miners have jumped out to a 13-point lead here at the beginning of the third quarter. It was 8 at halftime, 29-22. 2 3-pointers from Chenault has stretched that lead to 13. (35-22), Bauxite with the 13-point lead. Arkadelphia with the ball. Thanks for tuning in this evening. Chris Babb here at Mena High School in the 4A7 District Tournament semifinals. I know we may have some Bauxite fans watching as well. Glad you're able to tune in as Brown gets double-teamed. Gets it back out to Tatamy. Kick out to Hunley, back to Tatamy. Looking inside for Colin Medley, kick out to Brown. Foot inside the three-point line. The two-pointer is good for Javonte Brown. He now has 9 points, and it's 35-24. Contested shot that time by Javonte Brown. It was good defense from the Miners. He was just able to get that shot to go. There's Max Chenault. He's guarded by Javonte Brown. Chenault's baskets, as soon as I say that, I was going to say his baskets have been either in transition or on defensive breakdowns. Nice steal that time by Andravian Bullock. It's a fun matchup to watch between Javonte Brown and Max Chenault. Steal by Cruz. 3 on 3. Cruz pulls up in the middle of the lane. The lefty gets it to go, and it's 37-24. Back to 13 is the Bauxite lead. About halfway through this third quarter. In the semifinals, berth in the championship is on the line for the winner of this game. Medley bodied up by Lesage. High post to Javonte Brown. Can't get that one to roll. Rebound to Cruz. Chenault quickly up the right side. Stormont pulls up from 17 inside the lane. No good. Rebound. It goes out of bounds. And it was a nice hustle by Zach Lesage. He took out a couple of his teammates on the bench. Ball goes over to Arkadelphia. Victor Tatamy with the ball. He has 6 points. Javonte Brown leads the Badgers with 9. Max Chenault leads all scorers with 14 for Bauxite. Pull up from Tatamy from 18. That's a good-looking jumper from Victor Tatamy. It's back to 11. The Badgers need a stop. They've not been able to string together a couple of stops in a row and then convert on the other end offensively to cut into this lead. And now Andravian Bullock is going to be whistled for his third personal foul. Sorry, I missed that one out on top. Carson McAnally is going to check into the lineup for the Badgers, replacing Colin Medley. So McAnally will get in there and mix it up with Lesage. Gary Stormont triggers the inbounds pass for the Miners to Chenault. He's going to try to work on Javonte Brown. Nice job by Brown of ball defense. Chenault goes up and under. You've seen him make that shot before. Wouldn't go down there. Nice defense by Brown. Rebound by Carson McAnally. Andravian Bullock for three. Short. No good. Rebound to Scott. Quick outlet pass. Chenault goes to the middle of the lane and loses it. And Henry Hunley tips it to Victor Tatamy. Tatamy is going to be fouled by Stormont. That is the second personal foul on Gary Stormont. Second team foul of the second half called on the Bauxite Miners, and Arkadelphia will inbound the ball under its own basket. Victor Tatamy will trigger the inbounds pass for Arkadelphia. Hunley way out, hands it back to Tatamy. He's guarded by Stormont. He's going to take him baseline, spin to the middle of the lane, fadeaway jumper good for Victor Tatamy. The lead is back down to single digits. The Badgers need a stop. They've not been able to get multiple stops in a row. They were able to get one last possession. See if they can get another one here. Henry Hunley guards Elijah Cruz tightly. Almost got the 5-second call, but then Cruz takes advantage of it. He was able to drive down the lane for a layup. And the lead is back to 11. Tatamy, step back, three-pointer, no good. Rebound, Lesage. Chenault quickly up the left side. Stormont inside to Lesage, and that's going to be called an offensive foul on Zach Lesage. That's going to be the second foul on Lesage, third team foul of the second half called against Bauxite. Coming up on 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter in the semifinal game, the winner of the championship game, the loser to Saturday's consolation. Under 2 minutes to go. Andravian Bullock at high post, hands off to Tatamy. He pulls up from 17 feet, good from Victor Tatamy. He's feeling it recently. Now he has 10 to lead the Badgers, and it's a 9-point game again. 12 to lead the Badgers. 1:30 remaining in the third quarter. The Badgers sure could use a stop here. Bauxite's going to try to stay hot from the field. Tatamy tips that one out of bounds. Tried to say that the ball was tipped off of Elijah Cruz after he tipped it. The official did not go for that. It'll stay with the Miners on their end of the court. Chenault, the leading scorer. He has 14, hands off to Stormont. Inside pass to Scott, layup good. Lesage came out. And now they're going to say that Javonte Brown crossed the baseline before he threw that ball in. That's a tough one because now with an 11-point lead, careless mistake that the official caught gives the ball back to Bauxite under its own basket. Cruz left open for three. He's not going to take it. They're going to Lesage to the top of the key to Chenault. Now Chenault will be guarded by Victor Tatamy. Nice hedge job there by Carson McAnally. Chenault goes back door, up and under. That's got to be a foul on Lesage as well. Man, it wasn't. There is no such thing as over the back. But if you do jump over somebody, and that's a lazy pass by the Badgers, ends up in a layup for a layup for Cruz. Now the score's right. It's 45-30. with 15 seconds remaining. One shot left in this quarter. Victor Tatamy, guarded by Stormont, pulls up. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound to Kyler Pfeiffer, who checked into the game at the last dead ball. Couldn't get the shot to go, and that is the end of the third quarter. A couple of mental errors by the Badgers helped Bauxite extend this one from a 9-point lead to 15 really quickly. Bauxite led by 8 at halftime and outscored the Badgers by 7 there in the third quarter, and they, with 8 minutes remaining, as we start the fourth quarter, they have a 15-point lead. It'll be Arkadelphia's ball coming out of the quarter. Neither team is close to being in the bonus either. Only one foul has been called on Arkadelphia in the second half. Only 3 called on Bauxite. Elijah Cruz for the Miners is the only player in any foul trouble. He has 3. For Arkadelphia, London Cotton, Colin Medley, and Andravian Bullock all have 2 fouls apiece. It'll be Arkadelphia's ball coming out of the break. Javante Brown will check back into the game for Arkadelphia. We'll tell you the other 4, and most likely will be Hunley, Tatamy, Medley, and Carson McAnally. So McAnally, Medley, Brown, Tatamy, and Hunley will be in the game for Arkadelphia. Tatamy takes the ball. Stolen away by Bauxite. Stormont quickly up to Chenault. No foul called on Javante Brown. And Carson McAnally gets the rebound. Bauxite wanted a foul called on Chenault's dish off. I think a traveling violation is going to be called on Arkadelphia there, as Tatamy dumped off to Carson McAnally. Now Arkadelphia is going to employ full court pressure. I guess just some initial full court pressure. Interesting. Now defensively, you see Victor Tatamy is guarding Max Chenault, and Javante Brown has switched off on Stormont. There is Chenault, goes baseline. The up and under layup is no good. Rebound to Scott. Tip is no good, but he gets his own. And the lead is now 17. Javante Brown from way downtown, no good. One shot possession for the Badgers. And Chenault's going to go all the way in. Shot is up, but a foul is going to be called on Javante Brown. And Chenault will go to the free throw line. He had 8 at halftime. He had 2 quick three-pointers in the third quarter. He leads Bauxite with 14, but these free throws would be his first points since about the 6-minute mark of the third quarter. It's about as long as you're going to keep Max Chenault quiet. He now has 15, hits the free throw, and it's an 18-point lead for Bauxite. 2 for 2 from the line. And the Badgers really need to string some good offensive possessions together with a few stops. Henry Hunley kicks it back out to Javante Brown for 3. Rolls in and out, no good. Rebound to Cruz. Bauxite running 4 out, 1 in now against the man-to-man defense. The Chenault goes back door. The pass is tipped away by Victor Tatamy. He goes the distance. Almost gets another steal right there. Nice ball pressure that time by Javante Brown. Now a foul is going to be called on Victor Tatamy. That is his second personal foul, third team foul. London Cotton will check into the game for Arkadelphia, replacing Carson McAnally. So Hundley, Medley, Cotton, Tatamy, and Brown on the floor for Arkadelphia. Nice backdoor cut there. Stolen away again by Victor Tatamy. He'll go all the way in. Layup, no good. Gets his own and puts it back up and in. Timeout Arkadelphia. Victor Tatamy gets 4 straight. The lead is back down to 15, 49-34. After a couple of good stops. Chip away is what the Badgers need to do, but they've got a lot to chip away and trying to keep Bauxite off of the scoreboard when they've had pretty good rhythm to this point. Let's take a look again at the bracket of this tournament. In the first round on Monday, DeQueen got a 77-74 win over the Hope Bobcats to advance to Tuesday's quarterfinals. On Tuesday, it was the Nashville Scrappers defeating the Malvern Leopards 65-55 to advance to tonight's semifinal game. And then Bauxite easily handled the DeQueen Leopards 73-32 to advance to this game. The winners of those two games you see there in the semifinals, the Thursday games, both today, will advance to Saturday's championship game, and the consolation game will be set at 4:30 between the loser of this game and the loser of the Mena-Nashville game. And after Saturday evening, we'll know the seeds for the 4A South Regional Tournament, which will be next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday here at Mena High School. And after Friday night's games in the 4A8, we'll know which of the 4 teams from the 4A8 will be a part of that. Arkadelphia, let's see who's going to catch up to that is Victor Tatamy. That's going to be a foul on Max Chenault. As Tatamy had a step inside, they tried to go for the home run ball on the inbounds play with Arkadelphia pressuring. Tatamy had a step on Max Chenault. Chenault was going for the ball, but he was whistled for a foul. That's the first foul on Max Chenault. Arkadelphia has now put 3 stops together. Tatamy feeling it, but that three-pointer was a little bit flat. Bullock gets the rebound to Javante Brown. No good. Rebound to Colin Medley. Goes out of his hands. And a jump ball is going to be called as Lesage tied up Victor Tatamy. And alternating possession goes to Bauxite. Cruz gets by the pressure, then it's a 3-on-2. Chenault loses it, my goodness, right into the hands of Scott. He misses, but it's into the hands of Lesage. And now Bauxite's able to set things up in the offensive half court. Badgers needed that stop and needed that loose ball, but it went right into the hands of the Bauxite Miner twice. Chenault, goodness gracious, throws one up and it goes in. That's similar to the move that Tatamy was called for the traveling violation in the first half. That's the exact same move, and now they call a foul instead of the travel. And Victor Tatamy is going to go to the free throw line for Arkadelphia. Tatamy leads Arkadelphia with 16 points. Javante Brown has 9. I believe all those came in the first half. Tatamy's first free throw is good. Kyler Pfeiffer will check into the game for Arkadelphia. Defensive substitution there, as you can expect Arkadelphia to have full court pressure if Victor Tatamy makes this shot. Second free throw good as well. Let's be ready for the full court pressure. Kyler Pfeiffer will guard Chenault, but they get it to Stormont, and he dribbles right through the defense of the Badgers, pulls it back out to Chenault, and now Bauxite sets up in the half court again. Chenault gets by Pfeiffer, layup no good, rebound Colin Medley to Brown, quickly to Tatamy. Pull up, oh my, off the glass right to himself. Is he going to get that layup and in? He is. Assist to himself. I don't think he meant to, but we'll take it. Chenault, nice spin move in the middle of the lane, dishes off to Lesage. The layup is good, and the lead is back to 15. Back to action. It'll be Arkadelphia's ball, trailing by 15. Bauxite got the layup from Lesage. And Coach Kelly called timeout to kind of slow the momentum down. Kyler Pfeiffer for three, no good. Rebound to Lesage. Under 4 to go, and the Badgers have a mountain to climb if they want to make the championship game Saturday night. Pfeiffer will get the task of guarding Chenault. Chenault gets by him, kicks it out to Lesage, back to Chenault in the right corner. Foul's going to be called on Kyler Pfeiffer. First foul on Pfeiffer, fourth team foul. It'll be Bauxite's ball under its own basket on the baseline. Tadamy picks up Chenault. The official wanted to call it, but he didn't. He just wanted to call it, but he didn't. Going to be Tadamy guarding Chenault. Now goes back door to Chenault. That's a layup for Chenault. The lead is back to 17. Nice dish off from Brown to Bullock. Couldn't quite control the pass. Gets it to Medley, does Pfeiffer. Back to Tadamy out top. Tadamy's going to pull up, but he has it lost. And Elijah Cruz is going to have an uncontested fast break layup. And with just 2.5 remaining, this one's going to be tough to overcome if it already wasn't tough enough. Shot is going to be up, and a foul is going to be called on Gary Stormont of the Bauxite Miners. That is his fourth personal foul, and Tadamy will go to the free throw line. He leads the Badgers with 20. He has 20 for Arkadelphia. Max Chenault has 20 for the Miners. First free throw is good for Tadamy. Henry Hunley will come back into the game, replacing Kyler Pfeiffer, who gets some defensive minutes for Arkadelphia. Second free throw also good for Tadamy, and Arkadelphia is going to have a little full court pressure again, try to get a steal. Long cross-court pass. That's going to go out of bounds. It's going to go to Arkadelphia. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Ooh. He stepped on the line, and that could have been a foul on Henry Hunley, but they said he stepped on the sideline. I think that was the old, I missed that first one, so I'm going to maybe call anything close. Tatamy for three. Good for Victor Tatamy. Timeout, Arkadelphia. So 2:12 remaining as we'll put our clock back at 2:12. 57-43. Tatamy has 25 points to lead all scorers. Javante Brown has 9. For the Bauxite Miners, Graham Chenault, that was a couple of years ago. He's playing for Henderson tonight. Max Chenault has 20. I knew I was going to do it at some point. Elijah Cruz has 14. Zach Lesage has 11. So Arkadelphia will have full court pressure again as Bauxite will trigger the inbounds pass. That is Zach Lesage. Elijah Cruz gets the ball over the top to Chenault. A block shot by Colin Medley. Apologize for the camera work there. But a foul is going to be called on Colin as he came over the top. Third personal foul on Medley. And Keyshawn Scott, the 6'3", 170-pound junior for the Miners, will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Try to extend it to a 16-point Bauxite lead. Not a lot of rotation on that free throw, but it did go in for Scott. Second one is good as well. And it is a 16-point lead for the Miners. Tatamy, nice dish off to Andravian Bullock. He was too far under the basket, though. And his shot was blocked by Scott. And then a tie ball on the rebound is called as Medley and Lesage got locked up. Lesage thought he was fouled. And he might have been. Javante Brown's shot is blocked. Victor Tatamy, skip pass to Henry Hunley for 3. Good for Henry Hunley. It's 13. Now Chenault has the ball. He'll be double teamed. See if now a timeout's going to be called by Brandon Kelly and the Bauxite Miners as he didn't like how close it was getting to the 10-second violation. Still had a few seconds to go, but Coach Kelly didn't like the way that one was developing, and so he called the full timeout. 59-46, 13-point lead for the Bauxite Miners. The Badgers have cut it down from 19, and they're going to try to get another steal on this possession. The Lady Badgers won their first game of the 4A7 district tournament on Monday night, but they fell in the quarterfinals to the Bauxite Lady Miners. Drew a blank there for a second. Sorry about that. Next week, another busy week for athletics is on tap as the Badgers will return here on Wednesday or Thursday for the 4A South Regional Tournament. And that bracket will be announced Sunday or Monday. Also next weekend, the Badger wrestling teams and the Arkadelphia High School swimming and diving teams will be at their respective state meets. The Badger wrestling team will be competing at UALR at the Jack Stevens Center on Friday night and then Saturday. And then in Bentonville, Arkansas, up in extreme northwest Arkansas, the Badger swimming and diving team will have their state championships. The diving is Friday night, and the swimming will be Saturday. A lot of things going on, as always. And then a week later, you have the opening of baseball, softball, and soccer season, crossover season in high school athletics. Andravian Bullock has whistled for his 4th foul. That's the 6th personal foul against the Badgers, so the next foul will put Bauxite in the bonus, actually change our clock to 1:26 remaining. Cruz will trigger the inbounds pass. Gets it to Lesage, now to Stormont. He's going to pull up, thought about it, but then kicked it out to Chenault. Victor Tatamy fouls Max Chenault, and that is the 3rd personal foul on Tatamy. Chenault's going to go to the free throw line, and this is almost a pretty sure 2 points for the Miners. As Max Chenault don't have their season stats here, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's not an 80 to 85% free throw shooter, if not higher. And a lot of that times when you say stuff like that, you try to give the announcer jinx, but not going to happen with Chenault. 60 to 46. He'll try to make it a 15-point lead, and he does. 61-46. Tatamy is going to dribble down, pull up for 3. Good for Victor Tatamy. He has 28. It's probably going to be too little, too late. And Andravian Bullock with a steal into the hands of Tatamy. He's going to pull up for 3. No good. Rebound to Scott. And then Stormont. I apologize for the shaky camera. I'm having some tripod trouble. So Gary Stormont with the Euro step. Layup no good. Rebound to Tatamy. Tatamy dishes off to Hunley. 3-pointer up. No good. Rebound to Scott. And that's going to be a foul on Victor Tatamy with 40 seconds left. And that is the 5th personal foul on Victor Tatamy. So he will finish with 28 points, the senior guard, and they will return. I think that's only 4. I'm pretty sure that's only 4. Yeah, I thought that was only 4. So now they're shooting free throws. They're not going to wait for the referees. Sorry about that, too. I thought they were going to take some time to get that set up, but they're not. Keyshawn Scott hits his first free throw, second one on the way. That would make it a 14-point game. It is no good. Rebound to Javante Brown. Brown to Tatamy. Pull up, 3-pointer, no good. Tried to draw a foul, wasn't going to get it. Lesage to Chenault. Chenault goes behind the back, and the layup is good for Max Chenault. And there's going to be a foul called on Bauxite with 17 seconds left. That's going to send Victor Tatamy to the free throw line. We got the score at 63-49 on the board, so we'll take a point off of there. Victor Tatamy, first free throw is good. He has 29 now, 63-50. And the Bauxite Miners will advance to Saturday's championship game against the winner of the Mena versus Nashville game, which is going to be really late tonight. He stepped on the sideline, did Max Chenault. And the ball's going over to Arkadelphia. Victor Tatamy will trigger this inbounds pass. Get it to Javante Brown. Just one of you just shoot it. They're going to count that basket and call a foul on Lesage. Oh. Victor Tatamy gets the basket to go. 63-53, 9.9 remaining. Tatamy now has 32. And he got the intentional lane violation. You're going to see if he could try to get one. Might as well. Triple team And Stormont will run the clock out. And that'll be your final score. Bauxite 63, Arkadelphia 53. The Badgers will play Saturday at 4:30 in the consolation game of the 4A7 district tournament against either Mena or Nashville. We'll know who that is later tonight. We will not have the live stream of that game on Saturday, but we will be back here next Wednesday night in the first round of the 4A South Regional from Mena. Again, your final score, Bauxite 63, Arkadelphia 53. We thank you for tuning in to ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com and we will be back on the air next Wednesday or Thursday in the first round of the 4A South Regional, and we'll post the exact time and date and also the time and date of the opponent for Saturday's consolation game, which will be at 4:30 here. But our next air broadcast will be in the first round of the 4A South Regional. And on Sunday or Monday, you can look on Badger Athletics' Facebook page or the APSD Athletics Twitter page for the opponent and time. This is Chris Babb, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week at the 4A South Region.